Stephen Hendry says at the moment he's by no means at his best. He really struggled in his first match against Jason Ferguson. Nearly went out, pulled it back and went through on the wire. And he had a few early shocks against Stuart Petman, but he came through a bit scrappily, 9 frames to 6. But today, breaks of 81 and 71 so far, signs that he's warming up. Leading 3-1 then, here's frame 5.
Oh, that's a good shot. Clean pot. Perfect control of the cue ball. It's a funny thing, you know, for all he's won, Stephen Willie went back to the players area after the mid-session interval, and now with Stephen on the table practicing.
Yeah, I think we mentioned in commentary that he was missing a few long ones and perhaps thought his timing wasn't quite right. You see, the thing is with timing when you're break building, people out there would not realise that you can actually, you know, still score very heavily when you're not cueing well, but when it does find yourself out is really when you're playing the long game. Yes, he's got so much pride in performance, Stephen. That little 10-minute interval, practicing away, trying to get things right.
It's early doors, but that's the third black with the third red. And it is a situation that brings a 147 to mind, because really all the reds are in this half of the table. The only red that's a little bit away, it's on the blue spot, so that wouldn't be a problem getting position on that and playing for the black.
33.
Nothing would give Stephen greater pleasure than to beat his fellow Scotsman's high break, which is held by John Higgins at the moment, a magnificent break of 144. Unlike Higgins, O'Sullivan, Hendry, Williams, when there is an opportunity of making a sizable break, if the 147's there, they go for it. Oh, great pot, back in prime position. The red just at the bottom of the pack. The crowd looks on. A little bit of anticipation, I'm sure, coming to mind at the moment. Wondering. It's a possibility.
48.
Really has to get high on this next red so as not to finish straight. Doesn't have the angle to play for the reds into the left-hand corner that are in the pack. So just running through on and off the cushion. I just rolled it in to make sure that he didn't finish straight, but this is a tough pot.
56. 57.
Now, he probably will elect to stun into the reds here. Needs a bit of luck. That's pretty good. I think he'll have eyes for nothing else but a maximum 147 here. The balls couldn't be better situated. He may not need another car, but he'd love to make one. He could always give it to me, will he?
65.
He really is a machine, isn't he? He's already made 6 147s in tournament play. And this is the beauty of going for 147s. You see, at this situation now, you can't afford really just to play for one red, because once you get the wrong angle, it's break over. So consequently, Stephen has played for 2 or 3 reds at the same time there, to always give yourself options. And this is the only reason that Stephen Hendry is so proficient in the 147 department. Again here, he won't play for 1 red, he'll play for 2 reds. But making sure he finishes high.
8. 81.
Well, I think they've had a little bet between themselves. They're wondering whether this 147 is going to be made at this visit. See, there again, you see, he's played for the red on the middle blue spot. If he's not on it, he's on one of the other reds. This is a real chance.
'89.
Oh, is he on the one just below the pink?
96. 97.
So really now it's all there. It's just a case of keeping yourself together, and even Stephen Hendry will be feeling it a little bit now. Well, it's gone a little bit too hard for me.
4.
But, as I say, he's such a confident potter.
$105.
Yes, that previous black, once again he played for both reds rather than one. Now all he has to do now is definitely make sure he finishes high on this next red. Doesn't want to finish low. It's finished absolutely perfect.
112.
Yes, the only problem now, of course, is the yellow knot on its spot. So imperative
113.
he gets a good angle. He's got the angle on the black. He's got to pot the black and get the line and pace right for the yellow.
That is without doubt one of the best positional shots you're likely to see.
120.
This key shot. Well, you've got to fancy him now. This is remarkable.
Yes, we were saying early on that he took over the mantle from Steve Davis, and he certainly has taken snooker to a new level. A level that
129.
other players, and it has improved the standard of the game they're trying to reach consistently as Stephen. That cue ball needs to run a little bit more, I think, though.
134.
Well, it's not bad, but he won't leave the black that easy.
It's there. This has been absolutely superb. A genius at work, a genius witnessed by this large crowd. The handshake from Paul Wykes. It's Stephen Hendry's 7th competitive maximum break. He's an absolute genius. It's 4-1.
Well, they came here to cheer Paul Wykes, but look at that, a standing ovation for, as Willie Thorne said, the genius at work, a 147 maximum by Stephen Hendry here on this Monday, our 3rd televised day of the Liverpool Victoria United Kingdom Championship. Quite remarkable. Everything stopped here. You could hear a pin drop as ever. There's the other table, Lee Walker and Michael Holt with referee Alan Chamberlain. I'll tell you what's been happening in that match, but they stopped, they couldn't pot any balls, and the crowd watched, and you've watched it now, a 147. In fact, Hendry's 2nd maximum in this United Kingdom Championship. He got one in 1995. He seems to get one everywhere, doesn't he, Dennis Taylor? What's happening?
I think the two boys there were stood thinking about, oh, I could do with that motor car.
Yeah.
But it's ahead of them. But he is, as Willie said, genius is the word that you've got to use about Stephen Hendry. I was just thinking, you know, he's won a Bentley, he's won a Ferrari, he's won a Mercedes and 2 Vectras.
He's looking for a bricklayer to build a new garage, I think.
I would think so. But he has, we keep saying things about it. I keep going back to the 1994 final against Ken Doherty. He made 5 centuries in 7 frames, 7 centuries in the 10 frames that he won. He keeps breaking records, things that I don't think will ever be equalled again.
I was saying everybody was watching naturally and sitting there. And John Higgins was actually in the players' room and he was saying, oh, good break, this is tremendous. Suddenly he said, oh my goodness, he's going to take my prize, because he had the 144 here last night, which was the 2nd highest break in history.
And he also had a chance to make a maximum. John's never ever made a maximum break, but that's probably the difference, because Stephen has done it so many times now, and John is still yet to make a maximum now.
But there was one particular, I mean, they're all good shots. There was one particular shot. Willie Thorne said one of the greatest shots you'll ever see, and you said the same when you were watching it too.
Well, this is a stun. It's a stun run through, but I mean, look at the distance he's got to travel and the pace he's hit it at, and he's had to come off 2 cushions, and he's finished, well, really, that's the only spot he could finish in perfectly, so as he could get to the green. So, and even the last pink, he didn't get nicely on the pink, had to play with a lot of check side, and he took it in his stride.
I remember the yellow off its spot, there was always going to be a slight little problem, wasn't it? And how do you get to it?
I think he had that in the back of his mind all the way through there.
But there it is then, the 147, so that's changed our centuries board, hasn't it? Sorry, Mr. Higgins, you're not there with your picture on it, and it's Mr. Hendry, 147, the 2nd maximum in the history of the United Kingdom Championship. As I say, he got one in 95, and then I was saying last night, I think that 144 of Higgins will take some beating, because that was the 2nd best, but it's gone, of course, and the 2 players there in blue, Chris Small and Ken Doherty, are the players already knocked out of this year's championship. Matthew Stevens still there, of course, Ronnie O'Sullivan, John Higgins, Mark Williams, who's got that intriguing match coming up against Jimmy White tomorrow. Mark Williams, Jimmy White never played each other before, and Jimmy White, of course, a former champion. Mark Williams never done that well in this United Kingdom Championship, but he is a much better player now.